Mediocre Hobbies Podcast, Season 2, Episode 2, Blood for the Blood God. Follow Andy online, youtube.com/mediocre hobbies, and Tom is at instagram.com/tom.landy.hobby.
Hello guys, welcome back to episode 2 of season 2 of the Mediocre Hobbies Podcast with myself and Mr. Landy. Today's episode, we will be exploring world eaters. We're going to try to explore world eaters, and then we're probably going to get distracted by a couple of other topics, as is us down to a T. So stick around, guys, and enjoy the show. Oh, yeah, I can see how I'm zooming. Jesus Christ. Let's zoom me all the way out to start with.
Whoa. I mean, it's not terrible. I noticed that no matter what I do to the light tonight, I look like I've got lipstick on.
What's wrong with that?
Well, I mean, you couldn't see it last week because I was hiding it behind the microphone, but this week I've moved the mic as requested.
Yeah, did you see when you watched it back, did you know what I meant? Or?
Oh, yeah, no, I knew what you meant at the time. I just hadn't thought about it.
Is that all right?
Yeah, I mean, sure.
It's not that. So annoying trying to zoom, like have me the thing in focus.
What do you find the most difficult thing about? Because I know you're not the most technical man in the world. What's the most difficult part of the tech for your job? Like, is it how often do you have to like redo something?
Oh, I just don't redo things.
Yeah, well, I've noticed that. But do you ever
I have a really, really bad short-term memory.
Okay.
So like the problem is if there's a task that needs doing and I'm not constantly repeating it, I will forget how to do it.
Sure.
So like, you know, if I learn about a piece of technology or whatever, some crazy editing thing, I'm like, oh, I know how to edit like this now. Okay,
Yep.
If I haven't used that in 10 editing videos and I go back to do it, I'm like, how did I do it again?
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, like I didn't use my 3D printer for like 8 months, and then when I went back to it, I was like, how do I everything again? So
yeah, it's tough, isn't it?
Yeah. Is that still not great focus-wise?
No, I think that's good now. That's good. Hobby-wise, the only thing that I've been doing is listening to the Siege of Terror book and then immediately went to the internet to decide what army I'm going to do as a loyalist. I think, yeah, I'm telling you, it's the way to do it. I feel like...
Have you finished it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we both finished it. So we can talk about it. We just can't put any of the bits we talk about in the thing because we'll spoil it for somebody.
The only thing I didn't like was the first hour, where it's kind of recapping everything. I knew who everyone was because I've read all the other books. There's a lot of like someone walks in and goes, hello, Malkador, the Sigillite Regent of Terra, second in command to the Emperor. How are you today, sir? And he looks up at them and goes, yes. You know, but
companions, yeah.
I think so. This I can put this in because this isn't a spoiler. I think the thing I find most interesting is Death Guard right now, because there's some Death Guard in it. Their kind of primary weapon is depression, and that kind of happened in, is it Warhawk as well, where the Khan fights him, but like Rogel's just sat in the castle going, oh, I'm so sad. I'm Rogel Dorn. Nothing is working. I can't even go to bed. I'm so sad. And then as soon as Mortarion gets his ass kicked, Rogel's like, actually, I'm fine. I can do whatever I need.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't really see it as like depression. I think of it more as like hopelessness, which I suppose is the same thing as depression. But you know what I mean? Like it's like even in the war, like even in the Crusade, they were the unstoppable force.
Yep.
They would just send millions of soldiers at you until you were dead. Whatever outcome happened to them, they didn't care.
Yep.
It's just that like there's no like glory to it. There's just filth coming for you, and you're like,
yeah, they're the proper like the old school zombie legion. Like they just keep marching slowly at you.
Yes, it's just grim.
Right. So what we will delete from the show, talk to me. What do you like about it? What do you dislike about it? What's good? What's bad? I hate that there's another one and it's not out yet.
Yeah. I'm glad it gets split into two because I didn't want it to get squished and like.
No, it's definitely not squished.
No, I like
big.
more. I do like more.
Yeah.
So I didn't like.
So I kind of want to just you're a dangerous man to talk to. So I really enjoy talking to you because it gets me excited about the things that I don't want.
Yeah, like 3D printing.
Yes, correct. That's why I'm so worried.
Oh yeah, I forgot
But
one of the things. I have all the world leaders in front of me, and I forgot to take out the primer.
he's the only one that really counts. Ask anyone, he'll tell you. He'll tell you he's the best.
He is definitely the best. He is the monster. That's all blurry because
A little bit, yeah.
I think I should put autofocus back on that camera, maybe.
Maybe so. He's nice, isn't he?
Oh, he's a monster. Love him. Gorgeous. Quite small next to that model that I can't show you.
Oh. So yeah, what like I haven't seen any of these kits. So I'm looking at the website. What I don't know. So I don't get free things from Games Workshop. You don't. It's not technically free to you. I guess it's review copies. But what have you? Did you open any of these boxes and get genuinely like excited when you saw them?
Yeah, I was dying for them. I was dying for new Berserkers for years.
Yep.
I've always thought that the old ones are atrocious. Like, always atrocious. Like, even 15 years ago when I started, I was like, hey, aren't they cool? And people would put them on the table and I'd be like, no, they're atrocious. Get those stupid things out of here. These ones are magnificent. So like,
I think,
yeah. So
and you did Karn around New Year's, right? Like as a New Year, New Army kind of approach.
I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 World Leaders videos.
Yep, I know. I'm looking at the page.
Yeah, so everything got done from Karn to the Jackals to the Berserkers to the Rhino Man. I always call the Juggernaut Rhinos for some reason. So I did Karn to get ready for the release.
Yep.
And I enjoyed him, and lots of people seemed to like that video quite a lot. It got some really good views, and then obviously this army came out, and I was just like doing video after video, and people just wanted more and more and more. I still get confused by the like people can't just take one video and apply it to an army.
Do you mean like Eightbound and Exalted Eightbound? People will want a video for the opposite one.
Yeah. Even like that, yeah.
Like, are people asking for like Terminator squads?
They're quite happy with this line now that I've done it, but it was because of the people that they were like, I need to see a vehicle. How do you do a vehicle?
Sure.
Like, oh, that makes sense. Okay, so I got a Rhino that I'd never built. 3D printed some doors and stuff for it.
Yeah, really like that. Really simple.
I didn't put any of the trophy racks. I don't like any of that.
I never like that because but unlike you, I have to travel with stuff, so I don't do it for that reason. But I also think it looks a bit. It's easy, right? Like you take a model and put spikes on it, and then it's chaos. Talk to me about Lord of Corn on Juggernaut.
I hate him.
You just hate Juggernauts generally, or just we had this chat before where you just think it's a silly idea that he's on a Juggernaut.
Yeah. Like I imagine the day where he's like a glorious, like monstrous world leader, like seething with power and rage and basically glowing at this stage. And someone's like, the gift I shall give you is a mechanical bull to ride into battle. And he's like, oh, for God's sake, why would I want that? Like,
I think it's a really deeply sensual moment. I think he's on the battlefield and he's like, rah! Chainsaws going, rah! And then he just looks across, the blood splats on his face. He meets eyes with a mechanical bull who does this. He goes, jump on, baby. And then they just ride through the battle together. And he's like, oh, you've got a chainsaw for a face. Way! They have a great time. It was a really essential moment.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, I built and painted it, and it was one of those things where before I built and painted, I really didn't like it. But after I built and painted, I was like, this is kind of cool. I like it.
Yeah. And
I'll have to do another one because I'm buying start collecting when it comes out.
Cool.
Because that'll give me the 3 squads of infantry and a 20-man squad of jackals with the stuff that I have. So it really makes a lot of sense for me. But I get an extra Juggernaut man, so I'll make the named character one.
Yep.
And do another one. It's just fine. It's not something that I would choose to lead my army. It'll always be Karn and the Butcher Man or Angron. I don't know of a time that I will have him. When they bring out a squad, maybe where there's like 3 normal dudes riding them as well, then maybe I could have a squad of them running around. If that happens, I feel like that should happen.
Yeah, definitely. But
so cool.
Talk to me about the Jackals because you don't like the Juggernaut, so we'll skip over him.
Everything else in the range I absolutely adore.
Okay.
So I guess it's like I put all of them up at like an 8 to 9, and he's down here like a 5 or a 6, which isn't terrible.
No.
Jackals are awesome. They're fun to paint, and
Yep.
they're actually quite useful in the game. Unlike most other cultist thingies where you're like they're just chaff. They're just there to hold object.
Yep.
Like jackals are the same number of points as a standard like cultist, like 4 power for like 10 jackals.
Okay.
But they have this special rule called jackal stims.
Okay, cool. So they
They
get
basically-
stoned on the battlefield?
Yeah, literally like they bane out
Yep.
1 turn out of the game. So once per battle, when they're selected to fight, they can declare it using stims. So the unit suffers D3 mortal wounds.
Cool.
But then they all get +1 strength. I'm a big fan.
No, I like them. I think they're interesting models.
Like I said, they were fun to paint and they weren't too bad to paint. They didn't take me a long time.
Mm.
So
What about the 8-bound?
8-bounds are great except for the shoulder pads. I could not make the shoulder pads look good. So I just didn't glue them on.
Okay.
They have 1 shoulder pad.
Yeah, I don't like that look, but I know where they're going with it.
Yeah, so I just didn't glue them on. So you don't even notice it. Like it doesn't look like anything is missing.
Yeah.
They're fully sculpted underneath it. And then it means I've got a bunch of these really nice, larger sized cornet shoulder pads spare for when I want to convert some Terminators, I think.
Sure.
And they're really good. I was going to build the normal ones, and then I decided to build the exalted ones because they're just bananas.
What's the difference other than one of them has toes, right? Like,
yeah. So a normal 8-bound is much more like a big man, and
Yep.
the exalted 8-bound are more like possessed.
okay.
Like the outbound are like carrying their weapons and stuff, where the exalted 8-bound are like it's all like built in, like spawned out chain blades and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, they just look like big hulked out dudes compared to possessed.
A
I'm
cool
trying
idea.
to find hell brutes for it. I'm trying to find the like Forge World Eater dreadnoughts from back in the day to get them as hell brutes in the area. Can't find them anywhere.
I think I've even seen one in the flesh. I don't think I have.
They're not like amazing. It's pretty simple, but they have the ring.
Yep.
Like world in the middle. And the
Oh,
teeth.
yeah. Like the half and half. Almost like the
Yeah.
dreadnought would be closed. Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice enough. I wish I bought more of those dreadnoughts back in the day for different armies. I've got the Night Lords one and the Chaplain one, the Death Guard one. That's it, really. And I'm always like, I don't care that I didn't get that. And then I do that army at some stage. You're like, God, I wish I bought that thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I think like the problem is if you end up not doing the army like this, you look at the grand scheme of things, this makes sense. Like if you get your hands right now on a Slanesh dreadnought,
Yeah.
like a Emperor's Children, now is the time to buy it because once they release a book,
You're
those
right.
models are just going to be
You're right.
impossible to get right forever and ever and ever. So if you want them and you can get them, now's the time. But there was no, like when you were buying everything, it would have been a real stretch for you to buy a Khorne dreadnought.
Yeah.
Because realistically, Thousand Suns, maybe they'll do the rest. And then Nurgle came out and it was like, well, we definitely would like the rest.
Yeah.
But there was never really any kind of indication that it was really going to happen, right?
No. Like, no.
And what's Slanesh going to have? Nude people running around and some noise marines? Like, I mean...
Yeah, I don't know, because like they pushed away from that a little bit with the heathenettes of Slanesh books for Age of Sigmar. They stopped just going for lust. And like you can tell some guys are gluttonous and stuff like that. So hopefully they play more into the aspects of desire than just that, which I think would be super cool. But you know, we're gonna get a big snake man and some like excellent swordsmen, some I don't know what they were called again.
Phoenix Terminators, and then there's Palatine Blades.
Palatine Blades, yeah. So
still some of the best models I've ever seen.
The Palatine Blades or the
just
Phoenix?
Both the Terminators
the
and the
Phoenix
Palatine.
I had a squad of Palatine Blades and I gave them away at some stage. Yeah.
Have you got you have your Strike Force Agastus, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
Anything special about the Dreadnought except he's got 2 hands? Like it's the same Redemptor kit, right?
No,
just
it's a different kit. I thought
really,
yeah, because I was expecting it to be like 1 upgrade sprue because I kept like looking for.
That's what I assumed.
Yeah, no, it's actually the entire thing is different, even though it's not. Like loads of parts are the same,
Sure.
But it's not like the 2 sprues of that plus this. It's a whole different thing.
It's been reframed.
Yeah, it's all reframed. So
interesting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have expected that, which is why I asked the question because I didn't expect that.
Yeah, like the Yeah, the front, for instance, there's only that one in it. You've no options, whereas in the other one you have the two other options and stuff.
Mm.
Yeah,
What's your favorite thing in the box?
the Dreadnought, probably. He's just awesome. He's all finished and he's coming to Warhammer Worlds with me on Thursday.
Ooh.
The kick around the table and wreck full. So yeah, I've got to fight a Knight Army as well at some stage. So I'm bringing 3 Redemptor Dreadnoughts. Well, I'm bringing 5 Redemptor Dreadnoughts with me. 3 Black Templar and Imperial Fist, and then Executioner Chapter. So all Sons of Dorn. And when I fight the Knights, I'm going to try to take a list with 1,000,000 Dreadnoughts and try and fight them. You've seen the Dreadnought. Did you see the Dreadnought I did? As soon as I made him like this, I did not want to I didn't want to trust. If that case compacts, he's gonna explode.
I like how you even made him as tall as physically possible with the guns up as well. It's good.
Yeah. Well, I think them as I've said it before, what I think about those guns. I think he's not in control of them at all. I think they're like those ones on a battleship that shoot down missiles. Nobody aims them; they just detect missiles. So I think they're anti-air.
Okay.
Across the battlefield and people are flying right. It's just boom, 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 I was that's in my head. That's all it does. He's got enough guns and claws to be worrying about everything else. Yeah, for some reason I just have this image in my head of this, someone setting up a Knight Army and me running 5 Redemptors at them and praying that one of them gets across. He could more than theoretically take out a Knight in one round of combat.
Yeah.
So I want that to happen. I just wanted to walk over and just swipe the legs out and have a Knight crumple and fall over. And then the other one that I built with the sword. Now
yes.
Just run that as a Brutalis now because it's a combat variant with the big sword or something. I just need to find a melt arm for him would really help, because then it would be the combat and the melted chest wouldn't balance itself out.
But even that isn't unimaginable. It's pretty easy to do.
Yeah, I would be happy doing it either way. But I just love Redemptors. That's 5 of them I want to have fully built and painted now. Yeah, but I'm dying for the rest of the World Eaters, the Start Collecting box. That's all I'm waiting for. I really expected it to drop with the army because they didn't get a starter box. I thought they were. I
think it's sensible for them to have done it this way because then they've made more money, right? Yes. That's the sensible approach, and I understand it doing it this way, but I agree it would have been nice to have it at the same time. And that's the sensible way to do an army, right? It's 2 battle forces or whatever they're going to be called, and Angron.
Yeah, because then you got someone described as you get 4 squads of 10 or 5 squads of 8.
Yep.
Corn Berserkers that you get a big squad of 20 Jackals, the 2 characters if you want them, Angron, and all you need to do is buy exalted guys on tanks if you want them, and then you've got an army. Perfect. So it is a really, really good starter set.
Yeah. And everything inside is new.
Yes,
which is so rare. I asked you about the Strike Force Augustus. I actually think the best thing in that box is the Space Marines Primaris Lieutenant.
Yeah, he's amazing.
But he's also so boring because he's just one model instead of 7, right? He's just one guy with all the options.
All the options, yeah.
Yeah, which is incredible. But no one cares about Primaris Lieutenants because
they're a stupid meme.
Correct. Yeah,
you can build him. Well, one of my friends is super excited. You can build him holding a power sword and carrying a heavy bolt pistol in one hand and a plasma pistol in the other. So you can just make basically a cipher for your army if you want to. I'm that's really cool. I like that.
Yeah.
He's just a beautiful model. The reason that he just has passed me by just a little bit right now is I'm doing Black Templars.
Sure.
And he's not a Black Templar. But he will go into, I don't know what my next Space Marine army is going to be. It could be a Salamander Force, maybe. And he might go in there. I've only done 5 of the Rocket guys for my Templars. And I'll do 5 of the other Rocket guys. Are I don't know what other Space Marine army they're going into right now. So.
But you were just giving me a big frown. So I was like,
hey guys, welcome to me.
Hello, guys. Welcome to Neckbeards Weekly.
Hey, guys. I just want to say that we do really like each other, even though we complain to each other for most of this episode. That's just what friends do.
And there we have it, guys. One more episode in the bag. And like I predicted at the beginning, we may have gotten slightly sidetracked 7 or 8 times during the recording. So hopefully you still found some of the things we said interesting or exciting. I know I did. Did you, Mr. Landy?
I did. Just for anyone who's curious, this 20-odd minute video took us 90 minutes to record. So on topic.
So will it be on topic for them? Anyway,
Some of it, yeah, some of it. I won't tell them all the stuff you told me about why you do not like that particular Imperial Fist.
you jerk. If you guys enjoyed the video, the podcast, make sure you give it a like. Drop any comments you have below, any questions or any topic ideas or anything like that. We'd love to hear from you guys. And yeah, if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you hit that button.